Yori Folari. It's a significant day when talking about legislation because the Nigerian insurance industry has just got a heck of a fillip. The Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act has been signed by the president, and it is now in operation. Okay, I guess there's much to talk about here because we really need to know what it contains and what it's about and how things are going to be different from the way it was before. The one thing that we do know is that the way it was before the president signed this new act into law, it was pretty much outdated. But let me introduce our guest this morning, Honorable Francis Waive. Honorable Francis Waive, okay, there you go. He's Chairman, House Committee on Rules and Businesses. Good morning to you, Honorable.
I like the way you added businesses. I only deal with the business of the house. You remind me of somebody from my constituency who sent me a corresponding message. I do a lot of businesses. I'm chairman of the House Committee on Rules and Business. Business of the house.
Okay.
How the house runs, the engine, the room of the house.
Indeed, sir. Such a small letter, S, it makes a big difference. I hear you, sir. Thank you very much. Okay. I imagine that people are excited. Should they be? Because we're hearing that all these, laws about our insurance up till now had been pretty much outdated.
Yes. People have every right and justification to be excited. And the Tinubu administration has been very intentional in what they're doing. I'm one of the first Nigerians privileged to see the full finalized copy of this act because when it was still in a bill form, it was my privilege to list it for members to do on the reading on their own,
okay.
Distribute copies, and then gazette it, scrutinize it. It's very innovative. It puts away all our obsolete laws and then consolidates all the laws on insurance that are in several different small pieces of legislation into one full legislation. And this is where the Tinubu administration must be commended. This will make the ease of doing insurance business in our country much better than it has ever been. And the government has not been reactive, but rather has been proactive in looking ahead. What are the problems? What can we do to make things easier for the Nigerian people and for businesses in Nigeria? And so this is one of the legacies of this government, and the government should be commended for it. The passing into law and the eventual signing of the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act 2025.
Indeed. And in terms of making insurance much more secure and so that one can know exactly where we are, I read that what this insurance will do now is, well, first of all, before I even go there, something else in the bill that a lot of Nigerians, myself included, might not know about is the ECOWAS Brown Card Syndrome. This is an expanded participation envisaged. Pray, what exactly is an ECOWAS Brown Card system before we continue?
Yeah, previously, the insurance companies in Nigeria, even those in reinsurance, were dealing mainly with the Nigerian market, such that their insurance cover does not go beyond the shores of the country. But if you look at what has happened now, your insurance cover covers the ECOWAS region, and which is a good development for business. Business across the West African sub-region is free trade, free movement for persons and goods, services across the region. It will be good. It will be a good idea if, as this trade and businesses occur across the national boundaries, that insurance cover is also there. And this is one beautiful thing that the new act covers our people, so that that when you are into any transaction outside the borders of our country in the ECOWAS region, you are also covered. It gives a lot of comfort, it gives a lot of assurance, and it will help businesses to boom in our country and in the West African sub-region.
This is a big bill, especially as one reads that All of this is in furtherance of the president's idea of a $1 trillion economy. And, you know, that's why I say it's big. And I noticed that they've taken some tough measures, such as, for example, zero tolerance for delays in claims settlements.
Yes, if you are going to transact business across national borders, that is one of the basic things that must happen in your insurance industry. There must not be any delays in settling claims. So this new law does not allow that at all. Zero tolerance for delays in claims settlement, such that even somebody who is not a Nigerian, who has done business with a Nigerian firm, because of this cover in West Africa, can have that assurance that the Nigerian industry is such that there's a zero tolerance for delay in a settlement of claims. This will put more confidence in the industry, both locally in Nigeria and across the West African sub-region. And in fact, it will help us internationally when traders or businessmen across the world do business with Nigerian businessmen, maybe they ship in cargo or ship out of the in and out of the country. They can be sure that claims will be paid as at when due. And this is a beautiful thing for our country. And you know, in the past, this has been one of the challenges of the Nigerian insurance industry, so that many people didn't take insurance to be a serious matter.
Yeah.
But right now, this law even makes it compulsory for many goods and services to carry insurance cover, so that consumers are covered. Unlike previously, when many things you get into, there is no insurance cover. But this government has enacted this law, signed it into law, so that insurance cover, take the petroleum industry for instance, a tanker driver drives his tanker across the road, gets an accident, gets injured, burnt, several things happen. Who pays the insurance? If you check most of those trucks, it's third-party insurance and those kind of stuff that are never paid. But this legislation now makes it compulsory for petrol station owners. Just as an example, it's not limited to them.
Yes.
Truck owners, different types of products and services to be insured. It's now a compulsory thing, so that you can now be sure of getting claims whenever there's a need for claims in the insurance industry.
Indeed. Now, it's properly, you know, the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act is what it's known as. So there are quite a number of reforms in there. Let's talk, for instance, about the new act introducing critical measures, such as stringent capital requirements to ensure financial soundness of the operators. No figure was attached to it. Is it possible to know it, or is that something that's going to be worked at? We know that this happened in the banking sector, where they upped. So what is it like in the insurance sector?
Just like the banking sector that you referred to, that figure continues to change from time to time. It depends on the developments in the industry and how inflation moves. There was a time when 25 million could give you a banking license, not anymore.
Yes,
when only one depositor has 25 million in his account. So it's for that reason that the Act does not specify any figure. But the Nigerian insurance, NICOM, I mean, has that regulatory powers, stringent powers to control and regulate what is happening in the market. So from time to time, NICOM will come up with the capitalization values for insurance companies and reinsurance companies. So they will be based on the realities in the market as NICOM will deem fit as a regulator in the industry. But the Act itself does not specify any specific figure, because that could change as the economy continues to grow and as we go through the vagaries of inflation and all of that. But you can be sure that many of the operators in the industry now will be running around to recapitalize, to ensure that their companies are solvent and ready to deal in the new dispensation.
There's also, I notice, what is referred to as the creation of dedicated policyholder protection funds in case of insolvency that you've just spoken about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. When, sometimes in the past, in our history of our insurance industry, some companies have gone under and some insured who ought to be beneficiaries couldn't get anything because the companies went under. Even the reinsurance did not quite work. But in this present case, there's a provision for dedicated funds for companies that go insolvent, so that they are going insolvent does not mean that those who insured with them will go penniless. It's almost like what also happens in the banking industry, where the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation pays to those who deposited their funds in the banks in case any banks goes under. And that's about the same thing that is happening now in the insurance industry. It's novel, it's good for our country, it's good for the industry, it's good for business.
Talking about insurance, it's this matter of the enforcement of compulsory insurance to enhance consumer protection. Okay, we know that, for instance, whether you like it or not, if you're going to buy a car, drive a car on Nigerian roads, you must be insured. People dodge it. It's either comprehensive, for example, or third party. But I wanted to talk to you about this. How is that going to work? This matter about you must insure. Apart from the car business, the car industry, the vehicle industry, what other areas might this whole matter about the stipulation that you must be insured, might it come into businesses? Might it come into personal houses? What's that whole area going to be like?
Sure, it's very wide. If you compare what happens in Nigeria with other countries, many things happen without insurance. People do things here. Take in the building industry. People set up estates, and there are no insurance for in case of fire and all of that. So when such things occur, people go penniless. They go without any recourse to any form of claim. I give example also of the petroleum industry. Have you heard of a tanker driver who had an accident and then maybe he got burnt during the ferry and then his family got something from any insurance company? No. So the law now makes it compulsory for every such firm or businesses to insure their customers such that if there is any need for a claim, even for consumers, when you manufacture a product and you put it in the market today, you insure consumers against any form of negligence or liability that might come as a result of your product. So it's all embracing. It's a new law. Nigerians still studying it to know the ramifications. But I can assure you that as we go on, it's going to be like what happens in the Western world, where almost everything is insured. And you can be sure that when there's a need for any claim, you will not go penniless. That's where we are going into, and it's good for our country.
Okay. Now, this development, talking about the act in place now, it reaffirms, doesn't it, the administration's commitments to financial stability, economic development, and inclusive growth. Let's talk about that a bit.
Yes, sure. When you look at everything the government is doing, not just the insurance now, look at the Tax Reform Act and now the Insurance Reform Act and many other things government is doing, you'll find that there is a deliberate, intentional strategy and policy to reposition the economy in a sense of it becoming self-reliant, in its sense of it becoming on the growth path, in a sense of it not being subjected to the whims and caprices of individuals, monopolists, and others who take advantage of the Nigerian public. It's something that government should be commended for, looking far ahead, not just for today, but also for tomorrow. So it's a good thing for our country. It's a good thing for the Nigerian people. It's a good thing for business for Nigeria.
So we are now moving into an era of transparency, innovation, and indeed global competitiveness. Is this, especially in the area of global competitiveness, is this because we are now more aligned with international best practices, so to say.
Yes, you will find that there's also a provision for digitalization.
Yeah, I was going to come to that. In fact, since you mentioned it, you can go ahead and include it in the comments you are making right now.
You will find that this provision for digitalization makes it now possible for anybody anywhere to be able to assess not just the stock value of the insurance company, but also of their history and business. It's all you can also, as somebody who has subscribed, maybe you insured your business online, you can check. You don't need to go and wait in any office to see what is happening to your claim if you filed one, and to know the process or the stage where it is in. You know, digitalization now makes it possible anywhere in the world for you to look at what is happening to your interest in that insurance, in that business or property that you have insured. And I think that is good for our country. And that brings us to global world best practices, because that is what happens in the Western world.
Well, indeed, that is what goes on in the Western world. But this also aligns, as I mentioned before, with the whole idea of the federal government has this vision of achieving a $1 trillion economy. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, 1 second, please. 1 second, please. Could I just take, let me just take a viewer who has called in. I'll come back to you on that question. I beg your pardon for doing so. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning.
Good morning to the honor before you.
Yes. Thank you.
Uncle Yori, the government means well. It's a step in the right direction.
Okay.
But we need to look at the past. There have been laws governing insurance in the past. How have we been able to implement those laws? The insurance industry has to earn people's confidence by themselves. It's one thing to make rules, it's another to follow it. I'll give you 1 or 2 examples. I know somebody that passed on. He had a life insurance policy. After that, the family presented the death certificate to the company for settlement. It was then the company were telling the family that there are some documents that need to be submitted and that he needs to do this and that. Meanwhile, the policy did not expire. If you had documents that were required, why did you perfect the policy until it got to an execution point where the policy holder is not there to defend himself? That does not encourage people to go into insurance.
Okay.
There's another case, for example. You insure a car, and the car got involved in an accident. The insurance company agent went there. He saw that the accident happened. And he came to the turn of claiming. I are saying that at the time the accident occurred, that the driving license of the driver was expired. If the driving license expired, does that negate the fact that an accident happened? Was it not the car that was insured? So people, the insurance company ended up not paying that claim. They have to earn people's confidence. They're always looking for ways to make sure the claim does not materialize. I think that's where the government should pay more attention.
Okay.
The regulatory authority for insurance, I don't know whether it is NICON, National Insurance Corporation of Nigeria, or whatever it is now, that organization should wake up. The enforcement is what counts. You make the law, but for the law to work, you have to enforce it. If it is enforced, people will be seeing the gains, and they will see a change in the settlement attitude. Then they will get encouraged to patronize the insurance industries. Right now, Uncle Yori, these insurance industries are making money only from corporate organizations. The individual insurance policies is where they should have even made more money, because people are there to do it. But because of that lack of confidence, they don't get it there. And they seem to be satisfied with the one they get from corporate organizations. It shouldn't be like that. It's not like that in Europe and America that we are trying to imitate. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. George. Wow. First of all, I wonder, Honorable Waive, if all of these issues, if it is your opinion that they have actually been mopped up, taken care of in this brand new Nigeria Insurance Industry Reform Act.
Yes, you will find that this act strengthens the industry and consolidates all insurance laws into one and gives NICOM more powers to deal with companies, both insurance companies and reinsurance companies. So NICOM has no excuse right now. They have more powers. I agree that in the past, implementation of our laws has been our challenge. But I think that the country is on a new path. Citizens will gradually begin to trust government, begin to trust the laws as the laws get implemented. We know that there have been companies in the past that look for loopholes, like the caller said, and decided not to pay compensations or claims. But you find that this law gives zero tolerance for such practices. And NICOM has more powers now under the law to act, so that once you notice any delays or any trick to try to deny you of your rights and privileges and your claims, it is very easy under this new law for you to approach NICOM and get a redress and ensure that you get what your claims ought to be, you get in full. So the law this time has looked into all of those problems and made provisions. We only hope that in the implementation, NICOM will be on its feet and Nigerians will cooperate, and that what government expects to get for the Nigerian people will get. Remember that what we are looking at is global competitiveness. That's what government is looking at, so that foreign companies can come and invest in our insurance industry. And once this happens and they begin to perform better, you will find a situation where there will be migration in the market. And once there is, it's no longer a monopoly, it's not, people are seeing some foreign companies that are doing well, there will be migration of customers to those areas. So at the end of the day, the law will achieve its purpose. So gradually we'll get from our past and get into our future that is very bright before us.
Okay. Okay, just to announce here briefly, apart from all of this, that we might be cutting off to join a live broadcast, but viewers at home, no problem there. Just please, scan the this morning's show code, a QR code. There's a QR code. Just go ahead and scan it, and you continue to watch the program in case you're...
Indeed. Kudos to the president once again.
Indeed.
Indeed. Kudos to the president once again.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, retired AIG.
Where we're going now is a new journey. It's a new It's a new position where we're not just going to talk about third position, where we're not just going to talk about third party. We're talking about comprehensive.
And the guest in the...
Yes. Good, Honorable Francis.
Good morning.
I heard you.
Can you hear me? I'm talking.
I hear you.
Yes,
we hear you. We hear you. We hear you. Honorable, Waive is actually answering you.
Yes, we are trying to renew our insurance law.
Well, refresh it, yes. Refresh it,
okay.
Develop it.
It's quite
reform it.
That at this point in time, they are trying to
reform
or renew or bring
reform
hope into insurance group.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yes. It's a lot of, like you said, it's a lot of good journey. Good journey in the sense that the system in insurance industry, the system in insurance industry have been such that everything about it is opaque, except there is a lot of things that people don't understand. In order not to take much of your time, insurance companies should come in such a way that there will be a lot of awareness, creation of awareness for both the policyholders and the insurance themselves. And the law, those who are to manage the law, should be more heavy and protect the policy holders. Because taking a very simple example of a third-party policy, I saw the police the other time, even the IG
was asking for the enforcement of third party. And unfortunately, I have not seen one single person I know that has claimed third party, and the police are enforcing it, VIO are enforcing it, road safety are enforcing it. So they should equally enforce it with the insurance company. There are a lot of things, and we equally know that religion too, there is religion aspect in it. Like some people don't believe that you have to insure your life, you have to, that they leave everything to God. So that's why education here becomes very interesting and creating awareness. And those who are to do the law and to implement the law should be very firm, because insurance companies are making Nigerians on all these things. At the end of the day, it will be like you are helping a particular sector of the economy to make free money. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibrahim in Mina, for calling in. Okay, Honorable Waive, I'm going to go on a quick break now, and then so I come back, you react to, whatever you want to react to in the submission of Ibrahim calling in from Mina. Do stay with us, please. We'll be right back. Indeed, welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us. Our guest is Honorable Francis Waive, and maybe at this stage I should let you react, if you wish, to the submission of Ibrahim in Mina, who wasn't happy about the way our insurance is being executed. We have VIOs, we have traffic policemen, everybody putting much stock on the third-party insurance, but a lot of people think it's practically useless. What would be your response to him, your comment to that caller, Ibrahim in Mina?
Yeah, Ibrahim, who made that call, he made a very valid point when he said that on the aspect of ensuring that we have at least the third-party motor vehicle insurance, that the police and motor traffic office, that officials, they insist on the vehicle owners having at least the third-party insurance. He emphasized that. But then he now pointed out that the area of claims for the third party who is entitled to claims is not pursued. Where I don't agree with him is that he tends to put that responsibility on the police and on the motor traffic office. That responsibility is not that of law enforcement. Anything you are beneficiary of, if you go to court, for instance, and the court award damages, the court will not on its own go after the other party to collect the damages and come and give to you in your house. It is you who initiates the process. You ask for a bailiff, you put in the necessary papers, and you go and forfeit properties and ensure you get your money. The same thing with the insurance industry. If you have a claim, as low as the third party is, if you are the third party beneficiary, it's now your responsibility to go after the company to get your benefit.
Okay.
Now, most Nigerians don't do this. One, because most of those policies are fake. Two, because most of those companies, they put so much bottlenecks, you get frustrated. What are you going to get out of it at the end of the day anyway? So just let it be. So third-party insurance has since become a means of some smart individuals just collecting money and doing nothing for the Nigerian people. All that is coming to an end with this new Nigeria Insurance Industry Reform Act.
Okay.
Because the regulatory powers are stringent, zero tolerance for non-payment of claims.
Of filed claims.
The Nigerian public now needs to be sensitized. I think he also made that point.
Yes.
To know that you can go ahead and push for your claims. By the time 2, 3 companies, 4 companies come under the radar for not paying even third party, then you find that they go out of business. And then we'll begin to have only companies that will give insurance a good name in this country. And then when we start having foreign companies get involved in the insurance industry, we now find that people will gravitate, customers will gravitate towards companies that perform.
Okay.
So I would appeal to the Nigerian public that once you have a claim, go for it. Don't sit in your house and expect the company to come and give you your claim. You
Okay.
go for it. Even
Okay.
if it's a third-party claim, go for it, and you will get paid. If you don't get paid, NICOM is there for you to appeal to.
Okay.
And with the new law, you will definitely get justice. That's
So-
what I have to say concerning that caller.
And by implication, Nigerians themselves need to be interested, and it's going to be available online. They need to familiarize themselves with the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act, and so that way they're not ignorant of what the provisions are. But let me quickly bring Mazi Okoroafo. Mazi, thank you very much for holding on. Are you still with us?
Oh, my clinic has the round go where we
I'm so-
talk of our own contribution.
I'm so sorry, sir. Good morning.
You see, the insurance policy is very, very important. What the president said is very, very good. Why is it important or good for economy? You see, 90% of businesses in Nigeria, between 80 and 90, they are not insured. With this policy coming, if government will implement it, it will help us. Look at areas like all these flood disaster. Look at all these storm and the rest and wind. So if businesses are insured, businesses, houses, name them, any structure. But here in Nigeria have not been educated in terms of fine insurance policy. That is why you see, there is no part of the world you go, Europe, some African countries, that doctors are not being insured. But in Nigeria, I'm not going to decide what am I carry my money and go and see what are they going to do. If it's because of these cars, third party, insurance people go and buy comprehensive party. When it comes to insurance operations, insurance companies start playing the daddy. That is what discourages Nigerians of going to buy or going to insure anything they have. So if government will make sure that all these policies that insurance company will play, especially workers should have what we call life assurance policy, which means everybody must die. When you die, their people will not suffer. Not to talk about waiting for the pension or gratuity from the nation. You have that life insurance policy, it's helping. But we don't care. But I'm calling on the central government to make it compulsory that new structures coming in Nigeria will be what? That workers should also have that assurance policy to get. But the area, people have been educated in terms of policy, insurance policy, better for us. And business. Yeah, good morning, Mazi Okoroafo from our United. Have a blessed day in Lagos.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okoroafo. Honorable Francis?
Yeah, I think he has a very good points there. Nigerians should take it more serious. There will be, I think, with what we are doing here, even on this station, on this program, is a way of sensitizing Nigerians,
Yes.
reorienting our people about insurance, and particularly the new Insurance Act and the benefits that will accrue to all of us from it. And I believe that as time goes on, as people begin to see the benefits that accrue to those who obey the law, those who carry out, do insurance, more people will embrace it, and it will one day become the norm in our country. It will one day become the norm. Rome was not built in a day, they said, but we have a history of having laws in the past that were not enforced. But this is business. As we go on, I see businesses enforcing the law, and as the law gets on continually being enforced, and the players in the market being true to the provisions of the law, we'll get to that point where it will become the norm that if you have property, even your own home, you have got to insure it. And vehicles, not just third party, comprehensive insurance. I must also say that not everything has been negative. Comprehensive insurance companies in our country have been paying a little bit. They've been doing a little. They've been doing well.
Yeah.
Not as good as obtained abroad, but I must say comprehensive insurance on vehicles have been paid as at when due most of the time. So we must commend the insurance industry for that, and ask that be transferred to every other aspect of the insurance industry, so that the confidence of the Nigerian people can grow in the insurance industry. He mentioned life insurance, for instance. Many people have no interest in that because of companies that have gone under which they were insured.
Yeah.
But with the way things are going and with the protection that is going to be given by NICOM, if you get life insurance, you can be sure that your life insurance is even reinsured so that your beneficiaries will be able to have access to what you insured for at the end of the day.
Alhaji Subaya, good morning and thank you very much for holding on. You've been holding on for a bit. Please go ahead now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Yori. Good morning, and your guests.
Good morning, Alhaji.
Yeah, good morning.
I hope you're hearing me. Good
yes,
morning,
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, good morning. We can hear you.
Thank you. Yes. First of all, you see, Nigeria is being frustrated. You know, Nigeria is being frustrated by the insurance itself. It's not because Nigeria does not want to insure, but along the line, history, it shows that Nigerians are being frustrated by the insurance company themselves. Look, Mr. Yori, let me tell you something. Most of these issues that government is even dabbling for, if insurance is there, it is not even the responsibility of the government. You know, house disaster, fire, like for recently, like what is happening in Nigeria and Lagos and in Niger State, most of the house, most of their property supposed to be, the undertaking, the gratification supposed to be done by the government. You understand? But tell me, as the insurance, are they doing it? Let me give you an history. I know somebody, his finger was caught at Lupeju there, another one in Ikorodu. At the end of the day, the company said the guy is a casual. You understand? This is somebody that was caught a finger inside the late machine of that particular company. So, you see, the issue is that it's good the president, signed the insurance into law, but what about the implementation, the awareness, the implementation of the insurance themselves? And that is why I'm saying, you understand, Nigeria are being frustrated by this insurance. That is why everybody goes like that. It will go a long way. If the enforcement agency can, go into all this, insurance and see whether they are implementing the policy. That is the bone of contention. We have a lot of issues like that. So,
all right.
I still say most of the issues that the government is dumping to, it's not their responsibility. Look at the disaster in Ibadan. You remember, if the insurance is there, the people that are going to have it has to be, it's not the business of the state. So these are the issues. The government should sit down and look at this insurance company. Are they implementing the policy? Is the affected people, are they being settled? Are they being gratified? You understand? These are the issues. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alhaji Subaya. This is all about familiarizing our viewers and, by extension, the citizenry on the on aspects of the Nigerian insurance industry reform. So we'll be learning it as we go along. But Honorable Francis Waive, go ahead. Your comments.
Yeah, one area he mentioned that actually touched me was the casual staffs who don't get any insurance cover whenever there is a casualty at the place of work, particularly manufacturing, industrial concerns. Those have been discussed widely previously. But I want to assure Nigerian people that the current law, the new Nigeria Insurance Industry Reform Act, makes it compulsory. So you cannot say a staff is casual, this one is not on our payroll, he only worked for one day, he came to work for only today, after today, he's not a permanent staff. No, it's now compulsory. That's what the new law says. So let's look ahead with enthusiasm, with hope, with renewed hope, like government tells us. And we'll see that things are done differently. No company can, under the new act, differentiate between casual staff and non-casual staff. Everybody who works under their roof will enjoy insurance cover.
Okay.
That's the new law.
All right. Reverend Dominic, good morning to you, sir.
Hello.
Reverend Dominic, good morning, sir.
Can you hear me, Kijori? Good morning.
Yes, we can. Both of us can hear you. Honorable Francis Waive. Okay.
Yeah, good morning, Reverend Dominic.
I want to be a little bit biased this morning.
Okay. Unusual, but go ahead.
that in 2 years, the kind of policy that Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu have put on in Nigeria have made Nigeria a bribe to international community. You know, I said this to say this. I said that to say this. I was watching a few days ago, where some elders in the north were quarreling against this government. And somebody here, 8 years ago, was in power for 8 years. You know, what does it take this kind of policy, insurance policy, student loan policy, removing subsidy? What does it take? 2 years. Somebody has put Nigeria in a path of progress, and somebody is crying of marginalization. And I tell them, if they cry for marginalization in the north, that's not marginalized in these 2 years of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what would they say about Southeast? Could we jump into the ocean? All I'm trying to say here is that this policy is wonderful. Bola Ahmed Tinubu must go for second term. We must vote him in again to continue what he's doing so he can put this nation in the right path. What is the big deal insurance policy? Look at the tax policy. This thing doesn't need, it's kind of a page or wisdom from above. It's just knowing what is Nigeria needed to put in the right path. No government can give food to everybody. No government will build the whole road. No government will take people to sky. They can make a policy that puts the nation in the right path. Yore, this policy is wonderful. But I want to say this. Our nation problem almost for document is attitude. Can we put timelines for settling insurance issues? So I need to put it, open, how do I put it? In a way that is open, closed. Nigerian insurance company will go to court and keep in court. It's supposed to have a timeline. If this happens, within 30 days, within 90 days, you must settle as a law, not keeping it open for 2-3 years. I have a friend who has been in the court for over 10 years now because of his house that burned down. He has insurance, but he has been in court for 10 years. Let's put this policy, put a timeline to it. So at within 30 days, within 60 days, within 90 days, you know what will happen if you have issue. This is a good policy. Kudos to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He must go for second term.
All right, then.
Like it or not.
Thank you.
The government that's taking for Nigeria. And whether you are marginalized or not, he must go second time. 8 years ago, nobody talked about the north.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Reverend Dominic, for calling in. I saw Honorable Waive nodding vigorously in agreement with some aspect of his submission. Go ahead, please, sir.
Yes, because we've never had it so good in terms of having a government that came in prepared, a government that is proactive, not reactive to what is happening and panicky, a government that thinks ahead, a government that plans for the people. Look at the Tax Act, the Tax Reform Act. Now look at the Insurance Reform Act. Look at the Students' Loans Scheme. Look at the Regional Development Councils. These are things that will help a country to function as a truly federated nation, as a country that is really on its foot among the Committee of Nations. You can say, well, this country ranks among one of the best. All this government is doing is making sure that the conducive atmosphere for businesses to thrive is there. And this must be supported. God forbid that we have a government after this that will take us back, that will change this and take us back to those days of darkness. I said this to remember what happened when one government was privatizing some institutions, and another government came in the next day and started reversing all of those policies. Take the Port Harcourt refinery, for instance, that we reversed the series. What have we gotten from it today? Nothing. Rather, we've been spending much more in trillions of naira and billions of US dollars revamping and paying staff and nothing coming out of it.
Yeah.
So I pray that we not go back to those bad days. Now, I also want to say that timelines are imbued in this law. So Nigerians can go to bed with their 2 eyes closed.
Oh, okay.
Timelines are there within which if you don't pay, you are already a defaulter to the companies.
Yeah, the company is liable.
Timelines are there. Nigerians can be rest assured of that, that the law is a good law. We in the National Assembly, we look forward to when implementation begins to look at how it affects Nigerians and any area that needs to be retouched. You can be sure that the National Assembly will touch it. And I must say at this point that we must give the National Assembly kudos where it does a good job. Every time the National Assembly is the whipping boy of Nigeria's democracy. I think on a day like this, it is good to give the 10th
You need to get your flowers.
Assembly.
You need to get your flowers.
Done a good job. We should get our flowers.
Thank you very much, and very well done, Honorable Francis Waive, along with all of your colleagues that must have worked assiduously on this project. Thank you very much. And also for coming on and explaining it, talking to us about it so eloquently. We really appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank
okay,
you.
We're going to have to leave it there. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition of This Morning on TVC. I'm Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.